Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for Calgary for the month of April. Now, let's face it, April was the first month that was fully affected by COVID-19 because remember March, the first 2 weeks were pretty good. It was the last 2 weeks that were affected by COVID-19. So keep that in mind as I take you through these numbers. So first of all, what you have here is you got all your sales, you got your active listings, you got your months of inventory, and you got your average price, and you got your days in the market. There's two numbers that I think are critically important for you to look at. The number of sales, obviously, okay? Because when your sales go down, it's like the real estate pie in your market just got smaller, which means there's less opportunities. That would be the first one. The second is your months of inventory. And all that is, take the active listings, divide in the number of sales, and that gives you how many months of inventory that you have. The reason that's important is that determines which way your price is moving, because just because sales go down, it doesn't mean prices are going to go down unless your months of inventory is going up. So have a look at these two numbers. So if we look at, sales right here, you can see January we had 863, February 1197, and then we did 1177 in March. Now, normally March would be substantially more than February, but obviously what happened, the last 2 weeks slowed down because of COVID-19. April, we did 573. So we're off 51.3% from what it was that we did in the month before. Keeping in mind, the last 2 weeks were a little slow. What happened with your months of inventory? We were 5.9 in January, 4.6, 4.9, we went to 9.7. So you can see what's going on. Look at your listings. You got 5494 active, 5782 active, 5565. So this number hasn't dramatically changed for a 3-month period, but what has changed, the number of sales have changed that caused your months of inventory to rise. So what's going to happen with prices at this point? They're going to start to weaken a little bit. However, depends what happens in May when it comes to months of inventory. Now this here is April of last year over April of this year. Look, we did 1,547 sales. Last April, 573. We're off by 63%. I think this percentage here is more accurate than, say, this percentage is here because remember the last 2 weeks of March, we're off a little bit. So we're off our sales by 63%. What happened with your average price? Down, right? We're at 460, dropped down to 423. Now here's a chart, and by the way, you can download these slides, and that way you can have a closer look at them. But this is your months of inventory over the last, 3 years plus the first 4 months. So you can see what was going on last year, the red line, but you can see we were tracking the right way. Then all of a sudden, COVID-19 starts to go up, and we go up to 9.7 months. So if you get 9.7 months, that tells you that you've got roughly, or this is roughly around 10% of the listings are going to sell on a monthly basis. Now, the other thing I created for you here, this is the sales, these are your active listings, and these are your months of inventory. Okay, from 2011 right throughout to 2020. I'm not going to go through them. We created it so you can download them, have a look, use this information when you're speaking with buyers, when you're speaking with sellers. But here's the bottom line. Everything is starting to open up a little bit, right? Garden centers are open, they're getting golf courses ready. We're going to start to see restaurants open up in a little while. So life is starting to move back to what I call a new normal. It's not going to be the old normal, but we're moving back to a new normal. May, you're going to see more sales in May, there's no question. What's going to happen with months of inventory? I don't know. But here's what I would say to the agents. It is now the time to get out there. Start talking to buyers, talking to sellers, talking to your past clients. Start booking appointments. It's time for us all to get back to work if you haven't been working, but I know a lot of people have as well. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. And remember, everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.